Y'all welcome Sara Hunt Felke. Can you believe our new pastor for students and young adults? This was her first full week on the job. You rode in on a storm, girl.
I did.
You did. And it's our joy to welcome her to the First Family. We'll be saying more in the days ahead as we welcome she and TJ. It's good to have her parents here with us this morning as well, the Hunts. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to say a few words to us this morning as well about what it was like to start your full-time ministry in the presence of a storm and God's folks responding. So y'all make welcome, Sara.
Thanks, Glenn. It has indeed been an interesting week to get started, to say the least. And as strange as it's been, and while we haven't been able to meet in this place, and I haven't been able to see you all my first week and a half or so here, I want to spend a little bit of time reflecting on what I have seen and what I have been witnessing in this community. You know, a few months ago, I began conversations with this place and with Glenn and a few others, and I started to get an idea of what this church was. It didn't take long to see that you all were a group of very kind people. You extended such warm hospitality to me and my husband when we visited. And I could tell that you all loved one another really well. Not just loved one another in this place, but we're loving the people in St. Pete and Florida and the world really well. I got really excited when I started to see what this place was. I got my hopes up a little bit. For a moment, I was like, I don't know if they can be this good. But I'll tell you what, as I was getting to know you all, I was reminded of a text found in Romans chapter 13. This letter written to the church in Rome, and it comes right after a very familiar few verses on living our lives as holy sacrifices to the Lord. That might be familiar. So let me read this for you really quickly. And I said 13. We're going to be in 12. So this is Romans 12, starting in 9. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Now, this part might sound familiar based off what I've seen at least the last week. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with God's people who are in need, and practice hospitality. Now, I said I had high hopes for you all, and this week you have exceeded those expectations. While we haven't been in this place, while we might not have had our Wednesday gathering or service last Sunday, we indeed have been church. I've seen you all be church together, to one another and to this community. I've heard stories of you all checking in on each other, just as Amy was mentioning, seeing who had power, who needed help in their yards. I've watched on Facebook y'all gathering and making sure that everything's okay. I got to meet Megan when a group of them gathered to take food to some of her students and their families when they needed it. What an incredible way to meet a tangible need. Those of you that were fortunate enough to not lose power, meet me in the back afterwards because I want you to write down your neighborhood when we start deciding where we're going to live. We might look there first. But those of you that didn't lose power, you had people over in your homes. You shared meals together, offered the AC and a hot shower after the storm passed. Incredible. I saw you all being church, and it was incredible to witness. So that's what makes me excited to be here. I am excited to see further how God is calling us to be church here in St. Pete and in the greater world, and see how we are answering that call together. It is such a joy to be serving as one of your pastors here. And thank you so much for welcoming me into this family. Thanks.